Hello everyone, so I have an update for you here on America's airstrikes targeting Iran last night. Now, firstly, we have some new, even better and clearer satellite imagery of the Fordow Nuclear Facility. This was shared and annotated by Damien Simon on Twitter. You can clearly see here 3 munition entry holes, each very close to each other, in each target area. These were very precise strikes by America. As mentioned in the video which I did early tonight, the munition used, the GBU-57, is designed to penetrate deep underground before detonating. So, we wouldn't really see much on the surface, just the holes, as seen here. Unfortunately, I doubt we'll ever see imagery from the inside of the facility ourselves. I doubt Iran's going to record it so they can show the world how badly America smashed their main nuclear facility. They also have some other interesting stuff to go through here. This is some work carried out by David Albright on Twitter, which is worth a look at. He did a bit of digging on these strikes and discovered that the GBU-57s seem to be targeting a weak spot in the facility, hitting near the ventilation shaft which led into the underground sections of the base. So America borrowing the tactics used by the Rebel Alliance to take down the Death Star here. The annotated image on screen shows on the left, near the penetration point, a ventilation shaft which was seen in a facility schematic found in a nuclear archive, and on the right, highlighted construction work being carried out on the other side, possibly connected and leading to subsidence according to the annotation made here. On this image, he provided a schematic overlaid with the Google Maps imagery, showing that the main cascade hole is 250 meters long, the construction of a base featuring blast and debris traps and a possible ventilation structure in the center. Here again, another schematic of a base overlaid with the Google Map imagery of the facility, highlighting the probable equipment and service support hall and the probable main cascade hole. So, a pretty smart idea by the US here to target the weak points of the structure. We can also use these schematics and the known layout of the facility to overlay with the impact points as seen here. This graphic put together by Ben Theo McCarles on Twitter. So, this shows the entry points at the bottom made a direct hit on the bottom of the facility. Strike number 2 didn't look to hit bang on the tunnels, but a trio of bombs this size detonating in the area is going to cause some damage, maybe even cascade the roof in, causing it to collapse. So I think this facility was pretty well rogered. Here's a screenshot from a video by Orion Intel about the facility. The video is from a few years ago showing its layout. I've circled on it the sections hit. So we have impact holes over the areas of the IR1 cascades, the centrifuges. Then also a strike hitting near the area of the autoclaves and also the recreation area and the offices. I doubt the recreation area and the offices were the main target here. This one was hitting the autoclaves. I didn't know what the autoclaves were, but a Google search tells me that these are sterilizers used in processing and for handling enriched uranium hexafluoride and are crucial for safely transferring, sampling and processing it. So, I'm no nuclear expert, but that sounds important. The US hit 2 other facilities as well, so we also have some satellite imagery of those, but it's not as clear. This one comes from Natans. So, this nuclear facility has already had much of its surface structure, at least the important bits, already hit and destroyed by Israeli strikes, but they didn't really manage to penetrate underground. They needed the US and the GBU-57 to do this. Now, initially, this was reportedly targeted by Tomahawks, but that doesn't seem to be the case. It seems that GBU-57 was used on it. It's hard to make out on the imagery, but between the 20th to the 22nd, we can see a change of the topsoil in the area right above the underground enrichment halls here. We do need to wait for clearer satellite imagery, however, to confirm this, but I expect we'll have some very soon. The spot is highlighted here, so there's signs of damage, albeit not very clear. Now, I can't see any signs of new damage to this already battered surface structures of this facility. So, I wonder if the initial report that Tomahawks hit this was wrong and misinformation, and it was actually just the GBU-57 used to hit this. 14 GBU-57s in 7 B-2s were flown over Iran during this operation, we have 6 impact craters of the first facility. So it stands to reason that a similar amount were likely used to hit this one. So if 6 were used here as well, then that's 2 GBU-57s unaccounted for. But they could be backup. I think it would make sense for a backup aircraft to be flown in case some bombs failed to launch or a B-2 had to return to the base or that sort of thing. We know 14 GBU-57s were sent because of a graphic here shared by the US showing 7 B-2s took part in the operation, each carrying 2 bombs apiece. I believe the rearmost one here would have been the backup vehicle. I'll take a closer look at that in just a moment towards the end of the video. But back to Natanz. This is one we're going to have to do an update on when we get clearer satellite imagery. Now, I'm going to have a look at the third target. This one is Esfahan Nuclear Facility. And as you can see with the satellite imagery here, this place was absolutely smashed. This one looks more like it was the Tomahawks used to hit this, striking the surface structure of the facility. It's not very high quality, but you can see clear signs of damage in and around the area. Here are the areas highlighted on the imagery that were hit. So, again, it is quite unclear. We are going to have to wait for certain to see how much were destroyed here. I'm going to have a look at this site on Google Maps and see if we can tell what was damaged. So, crossed out on this image here are the buildings which I can confirm damaged or destroyed. There could be even more because of the low quality satellite imagery. But so far, we are looking at least 11 buildings destroyed at this nuclear facility. 30 Tomahawks were launched, so more than one likely hit each building. Now, the US must have hit these buildings for a reason, so these must be important parts of the base. The US, I don't think, would waste for Tomahawks willy-nilly. Unfortunately, I don't know what purpose these serve myself, but some of them look to be pretty big and pretty important looking. Here are the 3 sites as shown on Google Maps, so we can see where they are overall in Iran. So, Fordow is at the top, highlighted in red, Natanz with the yellow marker, and Esfahan is in blue at the bottom. Now, before I finish, I'm just going to return to this nice graphic which was shared by the US later today. The US has reported 150 aircraft were involved in this operation. Not all of them are shown on the graphic. We can see that this included B-2s, of course, fighter aircraft escorts, tankers to carry out refueling at various points along the journey. Not shown though are AWACS and recon planes, which must surely have been involved here as well. So, an absolutely massive operation. This took a lot of planning, a lot of logistics and that sort of thing. In America, judging by the fact there were no B-2 losses and the satellite imagery showing successful strikes on the facility, seems to have pulled it off perfectly. So, that's it for this video. A bit Iran and America heavy with today's videos. I do have some videos about Ukraine scheduled, which will likely be used for tomorrow's, and they are worth a look. Now, before I finish up, I am going to play a video message from Sanath, a volunteer in Ukraine who's doing a new fundraiser. His donation link is in the description. Big thanks to everybody who's helped out so far, and take care everybody.
Well, hello Superminers community, it's Sanath here coming to you from the basement, otherwise known as the bunker. I hope everyone's doing really well. It's been several months since we spoke last, and this month marks the 2-year anniversary from when we first started working with the Superminers community, the very generous and supportive community. And, you know, out here you're always tottering from one crisis after the other, problem after problem, priorities are changing all the time, and I never really get time to look back on what we've done together and what we've achieved, but it is worth it. You know, we've done so much to help in this effort, in this conflict. Drones, multiple vehicles, Pajeros, L200s, generators, engines, battery packs, winter equipment, night vision capabilities, you name it. We've really been there making a massive difference to these guys, and over the course of time, all your donations, large and small, they've added up incrementally to make a massive difference in this conflict and shape things according to how we want them to emerge. Now, I've hit a bit of a problem here. We've hit a bit of a problem. We recently lost a couple of vehicles. They lasted multiple years. I think that one of them lasted 2 years and the other one like 18 months. So they've done a lot of work and they've seen the hotter spots of this conflict. But yeah, we're really stuck now because we need to try and get a couple of vehicles, 3 vehicles ideally, over the line and delivered to the guys as soon as possible. And of course, vehicles are the hardest part of this project because it's not like buying something online and just delivering it. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong with vehicles. On top of that, they have a 1,000-mile journey from the west of Europe to Ukraine. And we don't supply our vehicles just in standard format. We strip out the engine, normally install the BMW engine, strip out all the electronics, all those nasty things that can go wrong and become really unreliable without any warning whatsoever, and leaves you like a sitting duck. So yeah, that's the work we do. And but of course, all our work is underpinned by a budget, a foundation, which is the generous donations that you provide. So with your support, we'll continue this fight and yeah, bring this to a very satisfactory conclusion. Take care, everyone.